Hey everybody, we are coming at you from our casita. We are not camping. We were doing some maintenance, following up on some dampness we had in the trailer, and everything looks good right now. So yeah, we're still kind of thinking that through, but no mold, nothing like that, nothing serious. But we thought it'd be
And
a
we're
real
still kind of new to all this, so, we might be missing something.
Yeah, and we thought it would be a really good idea. I have gotten a lot of people telling me I'm picking up my Casita in the next few months, or I just picked up my Casita and we're taking our maiden voyage in June. And I thought, it might be a really good idea to put out a video of kind of our top 5 things that we think you might find helpful to take your maiden trip. When we had our Casita delivered to us, we took a trip within, I think, 2 weeks. We didn't know what we were doing. We didn't know what we needed. We didn't know the things that Casita had sent with the trailer, what to do with them.
I'll say we did some research, so we knew kind of like the things that we kind of needed. But you try them out and like what works, what doesn't work. Like Carrie said, what comes with the trailer, what doesn't come with the trailer. All those things are super helpful, right? To know. And I wish we would have known them before. We've done a lot of trial and error. You will too if you have one, because just because we like it doesn't mean you will. But yeah, we can talk about the things that we think you need for your maiden voyage and the things that are just really helpful.
Yeah.
We'll call it the top 5 things. If it ends up being 4, give us some grace. If it ends up being 12, give us some grace. We'll just kind of go with what you guys, what we think is kind of really super helpful and needed.
So these top 5 things might help you get started on your journey with towing your new trailer. Very exciting stuff is about to happen in your future. I can see it. I remember going out on our first trip. It was to actually Fort Stevens State Park, which is on the coast. And me and John just had a great time just figuring out what to do, what we needed to do, and what we needed for future trips. So I hope this helps somebody. When you pick up your Casita or you have your Casita delivered, Casita actually provides you with what we call a stinky slinky. Do you know what the official name is?
I would say your sewer hose.
Yeah, your sewer hose.
Yeah, your emptied and your tank hose.
And what would you say about the sewer hose that Casita provided?
Well, we don't know. We've never used it, but we had kind of done some research, and one of the things that everybody, quote unquote, whoever everybody is, was saying on all the forums was get a Rhino stinky slinky. That the one that Casita has either isn't very good, or I think the biggest thing was the elbows.
The clear elbow
are not cleared, so you can't see when your tank's done dumping and all that kind of stuff. So go get a Rhino hose. You'll have the clear elbows.
And they're bigger, right? Like they're the diameter of it's bigger than what Casita gave us.
I don't know. The elbow diameter is bigger, because the elbow won't fit in the tube holder that Casita sends you won't fit the Rhino hose. But I think it's just that end piece, that like elbow, that it won't fit.
So the tube holder that John's talking about actually comes mounted to the back of your Casita. It looks like a black square tube, and we've never kept it back there, obviously, because it doesn't fit because of that elbow. We keep it in a Rubbermaid tote that we keep in the back of John's truck. So, and with that, this isn't part of the top 5. This would just be helpful. When you're dumping your tanks, you want to have a box of gloves with you. We didn't know that really the first time. We didn't really think about that. So, John now carries a box of gloves, with that setup. Number 2, chocks and leveling blocks.
Yeah, chocks and leveling blocks. I would say when we got our Casita, we bought these chocks or these leveling blocks that are just these square leveling blocks. We still use them. We usually actually put our front jack down on it.
They look like big Lego pieces.
Yeah, but what I wish we would have known is, which we have now, is these kind of rolling leveling blocks. So now I'm able to put the trailer into a position and just kind of start rolling on it slowly until the trailer's leveled side to side, and Carrie will tell me when that happens. You've probably seen it in some of the videos. It makes it so easy because you're not guessing how many blocks do I got to stack up or anything like that when you're trying to level out your trailer. So that's something I wish we would have known. That's the pro tip, is get those ones that are like these curved ramps. They're fantastic. At least for us, they have been.
Number 3, a surge protector.
Yeah, I was telling Carrie that I think you want to protect your investment. We don't know how good all the different electrical setups are at these different campgrounds, whether they're state, city, county, federal, or private. And if there's a surge of power and it fries your electrical box in your casita, I doubt the campground's going to pay for it, right? So just making sure you have a surge protector. You're able to put these on the 30 amp outlet at the campsites. It'll tell you, hey, this is good to go, and then you just plug your casita in. So it gives you kind of like this peace of mind when you're plugging your casita in, and some level of protection to help against any kind of whatever weird surges of power.
All right, number 4, 2 hoses. Why 2 hoses?
2 hoses. So and with this, I would say also a water filter. So one hose for your city water. So you'll connect that to your campground. Water for your casita, and then you connect it to your casita. This will give you, whatever, good water coming in, right? There is a pressure regulator that comes with your casita. You don't have to buy one. And it for us, it's worked just fine anyway. So that's your clean hose. And then buy another hose, either a different length or a different color or different whatever. Keep them separate, obviously. But that's your dirty hose. So we keep that as a hose if we're at a campground that has sewer hookup in our site. Before we leave, we dump, obviously, and then we spray out our stinky slinky. We don't use the clean hose for that, right? We use the dirty hose for that. Just
keep that separate.
Yeah, just to keep all that kind of stuff separate. So, so 2 hoses and a water filter.
And number 5, for your most needed thing to get your journey started. This is simple. This is a no-brainer, but some people might find this helpful. A hitch.
Yeah, but not just a hitch. The right size ball, leveled right to your trailer, and then a 7-pin connector, because that's what the casita requires, and a.
And do you want to, if somebody's watching this and may not know what a 7-pin connector is, do you want to explain what that is?
Well, it's a circular connector. There's a 4-pin connector that's flat. There's like 4 pins on it, and it's flat. And then there's the circular connector. That's a 7-pin connector, or maybe 6-pin. I don't know. Maybe I think it's a 7-pin connector. But that has the ability to also do a brake control to help make sure your trailer's helping you brake when you're going down the road. If you don't have a brake control in your car, I think there's apps that you can actually buy, or there's things you can buy to put on that 7-pin that'll be a brake control, like that'll perform that function, because it's really mostly just a software function of when you put your foot on the brake, how much brake is it giving the trailer brakes, So, but make sure you have all that. That's all part of that hitch setup, safety, And I would also say part of the leveling blocks and chocks setup. You want to be able to leave your campsite and have no fear of your stuff walking away or rolling away in this case. So, like a hitch, lock, wheel lock. I mean, trust people, but also don't give somebody a.
You want to protect your investment.
Yeah, you want to protect your investment.
You've spent a lot of money. You want to protect what you have. Not only do we have a pretty beefy hitch lock, we also have a anti-theft wheel lock that we can be at the busiest campground or we can be in the middle of nowhere, and John always puts our wheel lock on, and that really has given us the
a little peace of mind
to like get in our car and drive away. So those are our top 5 things that we really wish we would have known before hopping in our truck and going. And a lot of it might just seem common sense to a lot of people, but for us, we were brand new to towing a trailer. So when we received our Casita, we actually opted for the Anderson anti-sway hitch, which John has a Ford F-150. If you're new to the channel, hi and welcome. We're John and Carrie. John has a Ford F-150, and it is a lot for this trailer. We don't even feel like we're pulling it half the time. We started using the Anderson hitch, and some people have asked, well, why did you guys stop?
Yeah, I would say we just didn't find it necessarily helpful. The truck's a lot heavier than the trailer. The truck also has anti-sway software built into it, and we didn't really notice that we were getting a benefit out of using the hitch. I think that's the biggest thing. I think they're 100% worth it. You know what I mean?
If you have a smaller tow vehicle, 100% worth it.
Yeah, I think they're 100% worth it for the right application. I just think for us, we didn't necessarily need it. So that's the biggest thing I would say.
It was kind of an overkill, and they're not hard to utilize. It's just it was a lot for what we already had. So that's the reason we stopped using ours. But again, if you have the smaller tow vehicle, or you are brand new, single solo on the road or whatever, and you just want that extra safety feature, it's a great thing to invest in. And so that's what we did. So really, honestly, guys, those are our top 5 of what we wish we would have had the info going in, because we would have been a little bit, I think, more prepared. And there's obviously things that we're still learning. The rest is just fluff, right? You bought a Casita or any type of trailer to be comfortable. It's an upgrade from tent camping. It's something me and John have always talked about. It just feels better than tent camping. So you want to maybe make it a little bit more comfortable, have decent bedding, make sure you remember your pillows. And when I say decent bedding, your Casita, depending on the model you got, ours is an independent deluxe, which is the 2XL twin beds, came with the mat that's already on it. It would be fine if that's how you have to start out. It would totally be fine. Again, this is just fluff. Just get a mattress topper to make it a little bit more comfortable. Have sheets, have a cozy blanket. The storage is gonna be what you make it. We have kind of eliminated a lot of our storage because of the way we have our trailer set up. But get in, just become familiar with your trailer, figure out where you're gonna put your shoes, figure out where you're gonna put your dishes. You don't have to figure it out on the first trip. Just once you start utilizing your trailer, just kind of get in and be like, oh, this would be a good spot for my dishes, or this would be a good spot for my coffee pot. So,
and give yourself a lot of grace.
Yeah,
you know what? You're
for
gonna make
sure.
mistakes, and just be okay making mistakes. If you haven't towed before, you might have to ask people for help at times, right? And just be comfortable doing that.
Backing in was a challenge when John first started. I still can't back it in. I'm working on it. I need to actually go practice. But John's he's great at it now compared to when we started. And I've actually gotten feedback that having a smaller trailer is harder to back in versus a bigger one. It's a little bit more squirrely. So my advice to you on that, if you are brand new to backing in a trailer and you're worried about it, number 1, go to a big parking lot and practice. On your first trip, maybe book a campsite that's a pull through so you don't have to back in the first time while you're still practicing and becoming familiar with your trailer. Or if you do have a campsite that you know you're going to have to back in, show up during the day. That was really important when me and John started camping with our trailer. Is we were so new to the whole setup process that we wanted to make sure that we got to our campsite while there was daylight. Now, when we were new, we took a trip up to the Olympic Peninsula area, and it was dark when we got there, and it was snowing. And me and John almost got a divorce.
There was a lot of yelling going on, a lot of frustration going on, a lot of campers that were probably not happy we got there so late.
Yeah, it was like 10 o'clock, pitch black. But you know what? John ended up getting the camper in. So that would be my biggest piece of advice, is if you are able to, get to your campsite while there's still light, while you're still learning the setup of your trailer. Anyway, we thought this would just be a fun video to share with you, and we hope that it helps somebody. A lot of you have reached out to me and said, I'm picking up my Casita in May, I'm picking it up in June, I'm taking my first trip in April. I'm so excited for all of you. If you are brand new to this wonderful world, when we first picked up our Casita, somebody said, oh, welcome to the cult. And I'm like, what? And now I like totally get it. They are so fun. The community around these trailers are amazing. I have met some really wonderful people and planning to meet more. Unfortunately, there's a fiberglass rally that's going to be happening in our local area at the end of April, and we were too late. We didn't get a camp spot, but me and John are still going to go up during the day, and I'm actually going to film it so you guys can see the different fiberglass. But like, I'm so excited just because the community of people is so great. So I hope you guys have that same experience. I'd love to know where you're taking your trailer, where you've taken your trailer, the reason you bought a fiberglass, the experience that you've had with your Casita. And if you want to add to this list to help somebody who might be reading the comments, please add your expertise, because by no means John and I are not experts. We have done a lot of research and have learned a lot by trial and error. So yeah, if you have anything to share with the people that are watching this video, have at it. I would love to read your comments. So guys, this one's short and sweet today, but we just wanted to pop on and hope this helps somebody in the future. And we're so excited. Camping is ahead, and we wish you all happy trails. Peace out.